Hey there, it's Fight here with a quick case study showing you one of the fine examples of the launch nonsense that goes on. So, a couple of weeks ago, and by the way, the case study of this is not to moan and gripe, but to show you one of the most important principles of doing business or online marketing and business. So, this is basically push response. It's a product I bought myself. I really like the concept, and when they came out with a special offer, which was basically a pre-launch offer or sort of a pre-release offer, so you kind of knew you are getting an alpha release, not even a beta, I basically picked it up because I thought it's a really great idea. I'd seen it in practice at a much higher price point from different vendors, so this looked good. Got it, and it was extremely buggy, and that's what I signed up for, but that's fine because the promise was you get it as a special pre-launch price of only $47, and then when it goes out to the public, it goes out at a regular price of $197. So it was a steal, and I was willing to basically wait a little bit and wait for the bugs to be ironed out, and even help get the bugs ironed out. Now, this is basically now the proper launch a couple of weeks later, where they are now delivering on the promise of pricing it at $157, except there is a front-end coupon code for the whole duration of the launch, and it's VIP special. And it starts at $150 off. Now, that is taking the fucking mickey. Excuse my French, but that is just ridiculous, okay? Don't make me sign up for some alpha shit when then you basically, excuse me, but exploiting me to debug your buggy software, and then you're taking all that information and now you're selling the whole thing for exactly the same price. Now, don't get me wrong, there was no way they're going to do a successful launch at $197 because no one would have bought, at least not in the marketplace where this is being sold. But I hope you see where we're going with this, right? This is just taking the mickey. Anyway, if you want to pick up, I still... here's another gripe about this whole thing. So when I signed up, special pre-launch thing, blah, blah, blah. And then there was an OTO for a Pro version, which I picked up as well, so another $47. And then they came out a couple of days later, oh, by the way, there's a very special thing for another service which provides encrypted communication, but like Skype, but encrypted. And that's another $47 because, well, guess what? The Pro version will be, the full release will then be $97. So at this point, I'm starting to go, right, then I'll pick that up. And the next one that came along was, oh, by the way, we've just discovered we can do Skype as well. That's another $47. So we're now at nearly $200. And I'm starting to think, look, if you're already using me to debug your buggy software and get user feedback to get this thing going, I mean, don't get me wrong. The right thing is to do lean development, but the right way to do lean is to have one small thing and have it perfect. And then when people help you out, you help them out as well and give them a real special deal and not come in, special upsell after upsell after upsell, and then basically you end up with a $200 price tag for something where you have no idea if it's going to work or not. So anyway, that aside, the product itself is something I want, so I'm not refunding, but it highlights, I think, the most important principle, and that is the whole point of this video. The video is not to moan and gripe, but what you see here is basically someone who does this thing. They just decided that's the way we want to do it. And you might now sign up for their coaching, where they tell you this is how you do it. You launch out something at alpha status and you charge people some money, and this is the model you must follow. And then you basically do that. Now, if you were to sign up with me, you'd be getting a totally different thing. I'd be going, no. You focus on one small thing and make it great. Provide a massively beautiful customer experience, and then build it out from that. And every time you deliver something else, it's massively beautiful and people absolutely love it. Now, none of them is right? The first model is something that works for Andrew. The second model is something that works for me. So the thing I want to basically highlight in this whole video is you need to pick the model that works for you. And it applies to pretty much everything you see, whether it is someone tells you need to do blogging, whether it's social media, whether it's paid traffic or free traffic, whether it's small ticket items, whether it's tripwire funnels, whether it's high ticket items, whether it's coaching. You get the idea, all the way down to ethics, how you conduct business and what market you go into. People will tell you, hey, the best model in the world is launching, and what you do is you go to the make money crowd because they will buy anything. Well, yeah, that works for some people. It doesn't work for others. So at the end of the day, or not at the end of the day, this should be at the beginning of the day. Probably the most important decision you can make in business is you kind of need to figure out first what it is you're willing to do and what you're keen to do. And then you basically get good at that thing. If you're keen on doing alpha releases, I'll go and do that, and no one's going to judge you. Well, apart from me, obviously. But you get the idea. You figure out what is that one thing you want to be really good at, and where you feel at ease doing it. And then don't listen to others who say, no, you have to bang over and do this, do this. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because, of course, every guru out there sells their course that says, look, the only way to make a living these days is you need to do email, because email has so many touch points and that's the only way to do it. And of course they will construct the argument because to prove that email is the best way. Well, they're doing it because email works for them. But if at heart you're a blogger or a social media person, well, you'll be struggling with email. So there you go, over and out. That is my little rant, which on the surface looks like I'm making some negative remarks about Andrew and his business model. It's not at all. It's very different. It personally does not work for me, but that's not the point of this video. The video is that you figure out what works for you and then take it from there. And if you want to pick up push response, which you may want to do because ultimately it's a good product, I'll put the link to this video down below so you can look at all the coupons that are going and then basically get it at the same price as I did. Alrighty, cheers, bye.